Hi, welcome back to Pandaville. My name is Panda. You can find me on Instagram as Panda Loves Yarn. You can find me on Ravelry as the same. I will put the spelling of it down in the description box. I'm more active on Instagram than I am on Ravelry. Let's see how that goes, if that changes. This is actually my sixth time trying to record this. And I am just hoping that this will be my last time that I need to record this. Uh, it's like 1 something in the morning, and not that I don't want to chat, because I love to chat, but I kind of like maybe I'm thinking to do this tomorrow, but then like, you know, baby girl is up and needing to be taken care of, and so like the nighttime is really when I can do the podcasting, and like nighttime like this, because she, like, her sleep schedule is kind of like wacky right now. So around this time she's in a nice good zen sleep. Excuse me. So while she's sleeping, mom is having an adult drink. And my adult drink, and you'll see me sipping it. If you have an adult drink, or if you're drinking coffee or tea while you watch this, please enjoy. Mr. Heineken. No, they're not a sponsor. But if they do want to be sponsors, call me. I love Heineken. It's a thing my dad and I share. So, and I don't know why, but I like it. Anyway, so that is my beverage of choice. And I am happy to, I don't know, drink it. I don't know. I'm kind of getting wonky because, and it's not off of the beer, it's really off of just the exhaustion. So, I'm pulling it together. Okay, so first of all, this is the sixth time that I'm recording this, and truth be told, like, all of the information in my head is all mumble jumbled on how I did it. And sometimes, like, when I re-record or have to re-record and stuff, I'm like, damn, what did I say in the last one? Because that one was really good, and can I use it for this one? And I don't write things down. I just try to go off of my head. And so it makes it a little bit harder, especially because I don't have editing available to me. Like, I had this program on my phone, but I didn't have enough storage. So when I tried to upload from that program with the editing, and upload from that program, it didn't allow me to. And then what I tried to do was like make little videos on my phone and try to upload all of them at the same time onto YouTube directly. And what wound up happening was it showed on the back end of YouTube that it was one video, but when it was complete and processed, it was 4 separate videos. Come on, really? Really? Like, you could copy and select and paste and copy a whole bunch of different things and paste them all together in like Word documents, even emails or what have you. And I can't do it for YouTube. Like, first of all, YouTube, I have a bone to pick with you, because you guys used to have an editing program where you can upload and then edit from YouTube directly. I don't know why they took it off. It would have been a blessing to me right now to have it, because then I would not be on my 6th time recording. That was my rant. I have another rant for the sewing. So, you probably saw that if you saw my video that I posted 2 weeks ago, that there's like 3 different video things. Oh my God, I was pulling my hair out. See this mess of a hair? I've been home all day. But anyway, so I was pulling my hair out because I was like, no, why did it do that? And like, just not understanding. I would have done live earlier, but my daughter was up, and if God forbid anything happened or she needed me, I would have to like abruptly end the live. And it didn't make sense for me to do that where I can, like I've been doing, recording, and if I need to stop, then I stop. But because it's on my phone, when I stop, it doesn't allow me to continue from where I left off. So unfortunately, I have to start all the way from the beginning, which gives my tongue a workout, and my throat and my vocals. Me. Yeah, I'm not a singer. So the last time that I recorded, I was talking about wanting to do a quilt using my daughter's outfits and articles of clothing for the first year of her life. And so I've dubbed that the first year of life quilt. You know what? I don't think that I would, like, when this is done, I'm going to be so happy and proud of myself because I know that I'm going to learn so much mixed with it, curse words and stuff like that. But I'm going to learn so much from this process. First of all, I'm working off of a machine, or I was working off of a machine that was over 20 years old. And so, had to battle with that. The other thing is in the last episode, if you haven't checked it, go check it out. But in the last episode or like video that I did, I was trying to figure out whether or not I was going to do like strips of her clothing and then like sew them together so that until it made a big quilt, or if I was going to do blocks, because quilts usually when you see them, they're like squares that make one big box. So what I decided to do, because a lot of her clothing has sayings or pictures in the middle of them, I decided to combine it. And here is the result. I still have a lot that I need to work on, but I am very proud of this block, of how I put it together. I don't know why, I'm just very proud of it. Well, I know why, because I busted my butt just for this block alone. So I was talking about interface and everything like that, and I was trying to figure out what interfacing is a material that you basically is it a material? It's not really material, but it's like this sheet of paper that has goosebumps or like bumps. I say goosebumps, but they have bumps on one side that it has like an adhesive. So when you iron it onto a fabric, it sticks onto it and it makes whatever that fabric is even sturdy if it wasn't before, or even more sturdy from the original fabric. And so, as you know, articles of clothing are very stretchable, and so it made it less stretchy. See how it sturdied that up? So when dealing with this, I was trying to figure out the fastest way possible in making this quilt happen. And so one of the things that I was thinking about was how to use the interface, how to put it on. Should I cut and open up the onesies or articles of clothing and then iron on the interface? Or should I cut the strips first and then iron on the interface? So I tried them both. And I decided to cut the strips first and then iron on the interface because I didn't lose a lot of interfacing that way. But it makes it so time consuming. Like, literally, my feet, I just felt like I was gonna like fall because I was trying to like get nice pieces. The interface kept on rolling up. I had to use like scissors or whatever I had handy to lay it down so that I can at least iron the fabric, iron it onto the fabric. Then the other thing is the strips that I cut, they were like 2 inches by 2 inches. And what I failed, or what I learned, was when you're making strips, or when you're doing like a block the way that I'm doing, you're basically, your pieces get longer. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I got a couple of screws loose because I really didn't think of that. So what happened was I cut them basically like the size of the butterfly. But that doesn't work that way. So I started with the butterfly and I sewed the butterfly on, right? Then you flip it. And when you flip it, because you sewed the butterfly on, it lengthens the square, or the rectangle in this case. And so because it lengthens it, now when I sew this one on, I'm doing the butterfly and then the Jedi in Hogwarts, or however, I don't know what name to call this, piece. So I had to make it longer. And then when you're done with that, you flip it again, and now because you did this side, now you're going to do this and make it longer, or whatever it is, and then cut from there. So, and this one, I had to do it from the middle. So you can see this right here where my finger is, that I sewed it on. I sewed these two pieces together so that I was able to come across all the way here. And now quilting, basically, like, I researched quilting, and I Googled it, and I was just like, hey Google, what is quilting? And I got a whole bunch of stuff. And basically for me, quilting is like when you make pieces like that, and then you sew, or you use a sewing machine, or you hand sew like designs into the pieces. One of a friend of the family is a quilter, and she made me this Jack Skellington and Sally quilt, honey. And she also made my daughter a quilt with pandas in the front, like pandas and stuff. I have to give it to her because I can't, like, it's beautiful work, let me tell you. Beautiful work. And now I know how much time she put into it. Like, obviously, she has done this several times, but it's still really time consuming. What she said was, when you have things like this, with wording and stuff, you don't really want to quilt on it. So I'm like, okay, well, now I'm making blocks. But then I realized, because I have to keep on adding different pieces, I have to first of all cut more strips and then sew those on, and then there's only but so much length you're gonna get from a onesie. Okay, so but I have to cut those strips, cut them into size, and sew it on, sew them together, and then sew them on here. And I've decided that it's kind of quiltish because you'll get these lines. You'll get a line here. So this one I didn't have to do neither, nor this one or this one. But here I got that line. You could, right here. See? So that was that. And then I started on this one. So on Instagram, I put this one on. I haven't put this one on because obviously it isn't done. But you can see for this one, I had to sew two pieces again together. Here, I had to sew two pieces again together. And you could tell, look at that. This is not the same thickness as this. And this is not the same thickness as this. I'm still learning. I had to get a new sewing machine. The sewing machine that I have, although it was meant for quilting, has not been nice. See that? it had been doing it to a lot of my pieces, and just catching and making things much difficult. And I think I said this already, that like I bought a new machine, and it has been a beauty thing. It came in the mail today around 3 o'clock. Well, yesterday, because technically today is Sunday. But it came in the mail around like 3-ish, 3:30-ish. And it was a breeze to set up. It is the Brothers CS6000i, which also has capabilities for quilting and embroidery. I am not touching the embroidery. I got too much going on for myself. But so I wanted to play with it. And I want to get used to the machine. But I didn't want to do it at the expense of ruining more of the quilt that I'm making for my daughter, for baby girl. So I have fabrics that were gifted to me from the family friend who makes quilts in stash. And I was like, you know what? That fabric doesn't need the backing, because that is time consuming. Ironing it on, and then, so I didn't even do that. That fabric won't need the backing, and I could possibly try another quilt. So this is what I made. I made a square, y'all. Like, I'm still trying to do it even. So this is 2 inches in width, or hopefully around there. The strips are 2 inches in width. And oh my God, can I just say that I know that I just got it out the box and it is brand spanking new, but the difference is real, y'all. The difference is real. First of all, it has a self-threader. I'm getting a little smontrous. It has a self-threader, and it was a beautiful thing to do. That it's threaded itself. Then it has like the different speeds. So even no matter how hard I press on the foot pedal, it would just go a specific speed that you set it to. As a beginner, let me tell you that it is a beautiful thing. So I started it off with the speed of slow. So no matter how hard I pressed down, it still went slow and slow and slow and slow. Then I speeded it up to a medium, and it went faster, but I was able to now feel the difference in how I was pressing down on the foot pedal, and it helped me. And I'm going to enjoy learning this machine, and I'm going to enjoy utilizing my fabrics in order to make something. I don't know what I'm going to make, but I'm going to make something. And I know for a fact that I'm going to have to like sew them like piece by piece in order to add to this. But I don't know, honey, but I'm just loving this machine. It is a beauty. I'm loving it. So that's my sewing adventures. How you feeling? Let me get wet the whistle. So that's my sewing adventures. I realized that the last time I was talking to you guys about a knitting project that I was doing, and I never showed it to you. Rude. So I have it here. And again, this is made by Megan. I don't remember her last name, but she's from the Zombie Knits. And it comes a part of what's called the Raptitude shawl, which has 6 different types of shawls that are similarly designed. And I had purchased it, but then I had gotten started and busy on my Christmas gifting. So here it is. This shawl, I'm loving it already. This is the arm. So you know how usually like you just throw a shawl across and it folds and stuff like that. She's a beautiful sew, because you could just go like that, and because it's not the length that it's supposed to be, but when it gets to the length that it's supposed to be, I could wrap it and not have to worry about it falling off my shoulder. So that is a beautiful thing. So I have a ways to go because it's several pages and it's a paid pattern, but I have a ways to go because it's several pages, and I'm here. But the stitching is very doable. It has a lot of like slip stitches. Well, not really like slip stitches, but you see how it makes like it's a ribbing effect. And then it's garter for the most part. It's garter stitching, which is knit knit. Do I knit on this side? Yeah, knit each row. And it's worked front to back. So I have it on my circs. And for whatever reason, like I said the last time, I don't know how to take direction very well. So I know that I have a lot of mistakes in here. But I've managed from learning how to even them out so they're not really noticeable. I'm loving this pattern. I hope to finish it soon. It is really a joy to sit and just knit, watch TV and knit. I still knit and look down. I'm not confident enough to knit and watch and like just see something else. I just can't do it. It's not for me. But I'm having joy in doing that. So for the yarn, let me talk to you about the yarn. So this yarn right here, this yarn here, the rainbow color yarn, is from Expression Fibers, and this I believe is the unicorn sprinkle or sparkle. I always say sprinkle, but I think it's sparkle. So I had this yarn. I had purchased this yarn originally so that I can make my daughter's coming home outfit in this yarn. I did not like the pattern that I had, I didn't like this yarn for the pattern that I had chosen to make her coming home. So I ripped it out and I balled it up and didn't know what I was going to make with it until a couple of months later when this pattern came out. And then this yarn, the blue here, the variegated blue, is from Knit Picks. And I'm trying to remember the name and I just can't. But it's a fingering weight and it's from Knit Picks and it's beautiful. I ordered 2 skeins of it. So I have enough to make this shawl and the 2 skeins. So I'm loving it. And you know what? And this has, and I know that my needles is like weighing it down, but this has some weight to it. So it makes me feel good because I'm always cold. So I like it. So there's that. Then the other couple of things that I kind of want to like just go through real quick, and I am not zoning out, I promise. I'm just trying to see in what order I want to do it in. Okay, so I was commissioned to make a peacock feather blanket. I'm waiting for the yarn to come in. I'm hoping that it comes in this week so I can get started. I'll take some pictures and post them up on Instagram so that you can see it. But they're motifs, okay? And then you have to sew the motifs together in order to make this big blanket. So I'm waiting for the colors to come in to do it. But the person that had asked me about making it for her works with midwives. I believe she's a doula, and she knows that I make blankets and stuff. And so her and I had a conversation in the summer talking about, that I wouldn't mind donating. Well, not in the summer. It was before my daughter was born, and my daughter was born in April. So I had told her, like, in the winter time, I won't mind making the blankets and donating it to you, and sending it to you that never really got off the ground. And so I decided that when I make that blanket, that I'll have at least 2 or 3 blankets to donate to her organization. And this is one of them. And this is crocheted. I believe this is like this shell stitch. Let's see. So this is crocheted, and I know I made it. I'm still learning it, but I'm making it a bit long. I'm sorry that you can't see like the whole length of it. I'm hoping to be done with this really soon. My thing is like the different colors, you see? The white with the speckles of pink. I don't know if I like that. I was saying like I didn't like it, and then I'm looking at it, and I was looking at it before I started to like record, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I'll do like, you know how variegated yarns, they kind of like have different colors spotted here and there, and I'm thinking maybe I'll do that for this blanket, you know. So instead of doing 1 or 2 rows of the white, I'm sorry that you can't see that, you can see it now. So it's ooh, that light, honey. Let me see. I still have my lights on. Okay, now you can see it. So instead of doing like 1 or 2 rows of this particular color, I'm thinking maybe, you know, spreading it out. So doing a little bit here, then going down more and doing a little bit here, and as I go up. So I'm not too sure yet, because if I do it that way, then I think that I would need to pull out this row of the white and the speckle. And that colorway, I think it's just pink. It's the white yarn with the speckles of pink is called Doodle Dots, and it's from Loops and Threads, and it's Snuggly Wuggly, so it's the baby yarn. All right. This was in my stash for a while, so I figured let me use it for a good cause. I'm sorry, let me just turn you back. So I figured let me use it for a good cause. And I believe that the base color is just regular pink from the same, you know, Loops and Threads. See? Yep, that's about it. All right. So I'm doing that. Then I have been trying to knit. I've been trying to knit these socks. They're called Mystical Spiral Socks. And they're by, oh gosh, I forgot his name. I'll put it in the description below, because I really forgot his name. But they are basically, they use German short rows for the socks, which changes the direction of the knitting. And it calls for, like, you could use variegated yarn, you could use self-striping yarn, and it's supposed to be a specific design. Again, what sucks is that I didn't print it out, because I have been trying to be more, I don't really have the room for all of the paper. So they, I'm losing my thought. I can't deal. Save me. Oh, man. What a day. What a day. I am just all over the place in my mind. So the more you figure, like, I'm noticing this, the more I try to be settled, the more I try to focus on good, I feel like the more anxious or things that are coming into my life get me anxious. And I'm trying not to be that person anymore. I'm trying to be humbled, you know, thankful all the time, and just, you know, living life and enjoying all the experiences that I get. And like, I sometimes, like, I just sit here sometimes and I'm just like, what the F? I don't even know why I went off on that tangent. I think I went off on that tangent because it's like, while I'm sitting here doing this, I like in the back of my head, I'm just thinking about like, yo, I've done this or tried to do this several times throughout the day, and it's just not working for me. And now when I have the time, everything in my head just basically like went to sleep. Okay, so I can't show you the picture, but I'll put the information of the pattern in the description box so you can check it out. I would show you. Let me just see if I could show you. I'm logging on to my computer. I have my phone, like my computer is the stand for my phone. All right, so I'm gonna turn the phone around so that you can see these socks, honey, because I think that they're beautiful and I really want to get them done this year. Okay, you ready? You see them? So I have had, I'm gonna turn you around again. Hi. There you are. That's how I talk to my girl. There you are. What you do? So anyway, so I've had a specific yarn for a couple of years now from Molly Girl. And I just didn't know what to make with them. So when I saw these socks, and these socks were gifted to me, or the pattern was gifted to me, I said, I'm going to make those socks. Every time I've tried to make this pattern, I would start it, put it down, and then pick it up and be like, where am I? Where? And you know what? Honestly, it's the same for the shawl. Like I have to scratch out a bit of time where I can just sit and just focus on it completely and get to a point where I'm like, okay, when I put it down, I'm going to remember when I pick it up. So I've tried to knit that pattern with this yarn twice before or 3 times before. Actually, this is a really good depiction of the color pretty much. And this is the furthest I've gotten. Okay, so I did the pattern up to 72 stitches, and I'm hoping that it fits the intended recipient. But for whatever reason, I'm feeling like I don't know if I want this yarn to go with that pattern. And I love this yarn. I just don't know what to make with it. And I figured socks would be an awesome thing, an awesome way to use it. So I have that. I have this. And one of the things that, because it uses German short rows, I'm sorry, my squares are falling. Because it uses German short rows, and again, German short rows changes the direction of the knitting. So you can tell right here, you see how there's a big slant here, when typically when you knit socks, it's just like a tube and goes up. So German short rows change the direction of the knitting. And to work German short rows, you have to work back and forth. And I'm using the magic loop method. And the magic loop method is basically you get a cable, a long enough knitting cable, circular needles, so that you can divide the stitches in half, and then you just work, switching and using the cable to hold the stitches that you're not working. What I find is to do like the purl side, the back and forth using the magic loop method is not really comfortable for me. So then it got me thinking, like, maybe I should try a different yarn. And I haven't started it yet because I just started to think about it. So I think that I'm going to use self-striping yarn. I got this yarn at, actually it was gifted to me from a very dear friend. And she gave me 2. So the yarn is Peyton Croy sock yarn. And I think I'm going to try that pattern, the mystical spiral sock pattern with this yarn. And I'm going to use double pointed needles. And and you know what? I'm afraid to use these needles because one is wood and I'm used to using like the nickel, the aluminum or whatever that's made out of. And 2, it's so thin, but it's so pretty. See? I think this came from like, I got this at my local yarn store, and I don't even remember the name, but the size I think is like, I don't know, I'm looking for it on the thing, but I must have rubbed off. I believe they're like a size 1 maybe. Yeah, I think they're a size 1. So I'm gonna use this yarn. Oops, wrong yarn. I'm gonna use this yarn and these needles to see if I like it and whether or not it goes by quicker by just like switching the needles out completely. So I will. Whew, I'm sorry. So I will keep you. I'll let you know how that works for me. Oh my God, I got yarn. First of all, I'm waiting for yarn to come in for the peacock blanket that I told you that I was going to be doing. Second of all, I was asked to make a baby Yoda. There's a pattern that came out. I don't remember the name of it right now off of the top of my head, but it's the baby Yoda from Star Wars. The Mandalorian, I think it is. I'm not a Star Wars fan, honey. I'm letting you know right now. But anyway, so I have been commissioned to do that. And I went yesterday to pick up the yarn. So the pattern, and I'll give you updates as soon as I start it. But the pattern calls for bulky weight yarn, and the yarn that I purchased was from Michaels, and I didn't like the color shades because the colors that was recommended in the pattern are no longer available, so you have to improvise. And I did. So all the yarn that I'm going to show you is from Loops and Threads, impeccable. It's a worsted weight, and it is, what's the yard? 285 yards. Okay, so I am going to show you for the Yoda itself, for the baby Yoda itself, I'm going to be using this. I think this is a taupe, soft taupe color. So I'm going to use this for the body, and I'm going to double it up because I purchased 2 of each yarn, so I can double it up for the thickness. I'm going to be using, I think this is called Forest for the robe. And this is Aran that I'm going to use for the top of the robe. So I bought 2 of each so that I can double it up. I really don't think I'm going to need all of it. And I know that some people, they use they use both ends of the yarn in order to double up. I never done that before, and I'm just going to go with what's comfortable for me. And then what I did was, again, I'm trying to make blankets so that I can donate it to my friend. And so I got Snuggly Wuggly yarn. This is Candy Pink. Yeah, I think this is about right. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is about right. And I got 2 of these as well. And then this is just, I think, regular pink. Yep. So this is regular pink of the Snuggly Wuggly. And it is, honey, I don't know. Let me see over here. When I did this earlier, like it showed, let me see. I mean, it's pink, people. It's pink. There you go. You see that? That's Frankie. All right. So, and I don't know what pattern and whether or not I'm going to knit it. I think that I'm going to do the chevron, which is like the up down pattern for this. Now, I think I'm going to knit this one. One I'm doing crochet, the other one I'm going to knit. So I'll keep you abreast of my progress. Was there anything else that I wanted to show you? I mean, there's a lot that I want to show you, but right now, the things that I showed you are the main things that I'm working on. Another goal that I have for myself, sweater. This is the year. Panda's gonna make a sweater. Fingers crossed. I already have one in mind that I want to make, and so I am actually excited, and YouTube is gonna be my best friend. That is all that I have for right now, and I am ready for bed. Like, I was gonna sit up and crochet a little bit more, and I feel it. I feel my eyes falling and just like getting smaller and smaller by the minute. So Sunday's another day, and I will be keeping you informed of how I add to my square. I'm so excited. I love the way that I just like the middle piece. Like, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. And I get to work a little bit more on it tomorrow. Well, hopefully I'll get to work a little bit more on it tomorrow. You know, one of the things that I have to do is I need to, I'm so bad with time management. And like, it's not even funny. I'm so bad with it. Like, I'll set up a time like, okay, I'm going to work on crocheting for an hour, and I can sit there and crochet or knit for 3 hours. Like, I'm just really bad at time management. So with that, me being bad with time management, I tend to focus on one thing the entire day, a week, or whatever, and so the other stuff gets neglected. So I need to learn how to work on this, stop, put it down, it will be there later, pick this up, work on this, stop, put it down, it will be there later, and repeat. So I'm going to try that. So the next time, hopefully, I'm done with at least one of my crochet or knitted projects. I have some other stuff that I just didn't look for. They're in the closet, and I didn't want to wake up baby girl, so I left that alone. But that is all that I have for right now. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you enjoyed yourself and enjoyed, just enjoyed, please like and subscribe, share, leave a comment, please. I love to learn, and I love to communicate. So, like I always say, live life and love it to the fullest.